ball well, threw the ball well, played outstanding defense, got the turnover. Difference was the 2 turnovers. Obviously, that hurt us. One really big one, but both led to scores, and that was probably the story of the game at the end. The other story is our guys. Our guys, Tyler Huntley, coming in and playing the way he played. I think coming off the shoulder and the wrist injuries, and fighting his way back onto the field, and just giving it everything he had, and that kind of a performance. Mark Andrews, coming up and just making play after play in the passing game. Offensive line, the way they blocked. J.K. and Gus, the way they ran. And then to the defense. I thought our defense was just all over the field, played great football. So the key is we didn't win the game. We're disappointed in that. But I've got nothing but admiration for our guys. I'm very proud of our football team. All right, what questions do you have?
John, on that 3rd and goal with Tyler, was there any thoughts, any discussions before that play of maybe giving it to Gus or putting J.K. in there and giving it to them instead?
Sure. You decide whether you're going to hand it off, take it off the line, and hand it back in the backfield, or whether you want to quarterback sneak it. We felt we had a good call. It's a push sneak play. It wasn't executed just the correct way. Tyler went over the top. That's a Burrow play. He's got to go low on that. That's the way the play's designed. So that was 2 to get it. You take it off the line of scrimmage, there's a chance. You might score, but there's a chance they get you in the backfield. Now it's hard to get it on 4th down. So 2 to get it there from inside the 1. We felt like that was the best call. We just didn't execute it right. How you doing? Good to see you.
John, when you look back on, I know you got to look at some of the tape, but that drive, it seemed like in the 4th quarter, you guys kind of ran out of time. The final drive there in the 4th quarter, when J.K. caught that ball and got down there, you had about 30 seconds left. Then you huddled. Do you wish you kind of picked up the pace?
No, the idea there was to save the timeouts for the red zone. I think the thing that killed us was the holding penalty, which knocked us back. And the idea was we've got time. We want to keep those timeouts to throw the ball. So we tried to pop a run there. We're going to call a timeout after that, and then we still have run pass options. So we didn't want to give the ball. We wanted to score without giving the ball back. We think we're going to be in the red zone. We think it's going to be just a certain number of plays, and it's going to work right down to the end of the game, rather than maybe you score with 30, 35 seconds. You give them a chance to go kick a field goal at the end. So I think we played it right. It didn't work out in the sense that after that we had incomplete passes, so you're not going to have a chance to call them. If you complete the passes, you get the ball back in the red zone, you call the timeout. So I think it's, from an elementary level, you could say, they should have called the timeouts, but we had the timeouts worked out right.
John, defensively, the last 3 drives in here, at least 3 in a row, you had 3 and outs against them. They had some success early. What changed defensively that really helped keep you there?
Well, I don't think anything changed. I think we played really good defense the whole game. We got a couple sacks. That was big. Got them down. Forced them to hold the ball with really good coverage. It's that kind of an offense. Sometimes the ball comes out. They hit a couple, I think, deep outs on the drive before that. The one right before that you're talking about where they went down and got into the red zone. But I just think it's just a function of playing great defense. We played great defense really the whole game. They're going to make a few plays here and there, but I'm proud of those guys.
What did you say to the team in the locker room right after? What was kind of the tone of that?
It was just what I just said. I'm proud of these guys. We played a great football game, and we had a couple plays that we should have executed better, I guess. Obviously, it's turnovers. In the end, is this thing that gets you. But it's hard to play a perfect game in this kind of an environment. I think obviously the biggest play is the quarterback sneak. That's the play that turns the game. That's a 10 at least point swing, maybe a 14-point swing if we go for it and get it. At least a 7-point swing. So that's just what it is. What it is.
Did you feel? I don't know, feel bad for us, but maybe did it strike you as cruel that Tyler had played such a great game and then that play happens the way that it did?
I wouldn't use that term.
All right.
Good.
Was it? I think J.K. had the touchdown catch in the first half, but was the preference to have Gus on some of those red zone runs as opposed to him?
Both those guys can really run all the plays. Gus is a downhill physical guy. He's got a chance to slam it into the end zone. I thought we would probably score on that play you're talking about, the power play, right before that play. Had a chance to get in there. It didn't get in. I have to see the tape and see exactly why it didn't get in. I guess they played good defense. Give them credit. But who's in the game at that time is you got 2 great backs. I don't think you can nitpick why was this guy in the game instead of that guy, or why'd your quarterback sneak it instead of taking it back and handing it off 4 yards deep. That's just after the fact, really. Call the best plays that you think you have, and you run them.
John, I know it's always in this game to the very end?
Well, I mean, I just think that we came to win the game. We're good enough to win the game. I mean, I'm not. People can say what they want about our team. If they don't think we're a good team, then I don't think they're paying attention. So, you pay attention. You know what kind of football team this is. If you win the game, then you prove it. We didn't win the game, so they can continue to say what they want. But nobody in our locker room cares what anybody thinks outside of our locker room. So, people that know football watch the game. They know we got a heck of a football team, the playoffs, you win, you lose based on a couple plays going your way or not going your way. That's just how it always works. So we're disappointed with that, but still proud of these guys. I mean, I love the way these guys play. I love these guys. How could you not? How could you not love these guys and how they fight through adversity and how they come out and compete? I mean, just put the tape on. If you want to watch a team that plays hard and is physical and loves football and plays the game the way it's supposed to be played, ask anybody around the league. Teams that have to play us, what they think of these guys. So that's what I care about.
John, last one here. Is it disappointing then to not have the fight and the chemistry and the love that this locker room has? You're rewarded with another game, another week to be together.
Of course it is. That's what you want. You want to be back. You want to be back on the practice field next week. So that's the toughest part.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks.
In regards to making him look like an all-pro in today's matchup. Schematically speaking, guys, we're just too vanilla of coverages we've seen from the Minnesota Vikings, not just today's matchup, but throughout the course of the year. Nothing exotic. You're not disguising anything. You're just lining up and showcasing what you have in your hand. And if you're playing poker and you show the other players you're playing against what you have, you're going to lose. So when you're playing against these outstanding offensive minds, these prolific quarterbacks, it's okay to mix things up a little bit. Show them something that you're not doing just to be able to put yourself in a position to be successful. And when you talk about the zone coverages, too many holes in the zones. The guys in the second level and the third level clearly were not on the same page because, as you mentioned, Lejay, people were running around scot-free, wide open. So they have to find a way to improve their scheme, number one. And then if you do that, the energy, everything else, the production will follow. But this ball game, I don't want to say it was solely on the defense, but at some point in time where you're at home, you have to bow your back up and get a stop. Just one stop. Find a way to get a stop to give your offense extra possessions to do what they've been called to do. Unfortunately for the Minnesota Vikings, they were not able to get the extra stops they needed.
Well, the road ahead for the Vikings, we'll have all offseason to break it down. The road ahead for the New York Football Giants, it's the one-seeded Eagles. It's more divisional football. Dudes, as you look at that matchup, we're going to have all week to break that down as well. What's the first thing that jumps off the page at you?
To me, is can Daniel Jones have a repeat performance, right? We know that Philadelphia front four will get after you, right? They have two of the best corner tandems in the league as far as, Bradbury